it's a beautiful sunny mid-December day, and the weather forecast has said cloudy, but at the moment it's glorious. I'm just heading towards Edwinstone, but I haven't got a clue where I'm going at the moment, or what I'm going to look for when I get there. A veritable mystery trip. I doubt many will know where this is. This is the tiny village of Kersall. I'm hoping to get parked up just down here. I've decided to go and revisit an old stomping ground, part of the old local birdwatching patch at Hare and Kersall, namely Hare Hill Wood. I just hope I can get parked up down here. I thought I'd be quiet for this opening shot, so that you could hear the twittering song of at least two robins, one to the left and one to the right. Well, it's the one to the right that's doing all the yapping. Anyway, there's a bridleway here on the left hand side. It's nice to see that they've never cut the tops of the hedges, and that's been like that now, well, in excess of 20 years. These hedgerows on this either side of this bridleway are really quite good old hedges, but you'll see other old hedges. There's one directly in front at the far end of the field there, and behind that is where I'm going, because that's Hare Hill Wood. So I'd best get my skates on. I'm amazed actually to see that this hasn't changed. This used to be part of my everyday sort of route. Well, at least on most days I'd come round what is the northern side of Hare Meadows, which are on the left here. But it's amazing, I just can't believe that the hedges have never been cut. And it'll probably be a long time since you've seen a field this small, or at least this narrow. I would imagine that this field is no wider than 5 tractors wide with the gang mower on. But you've got these fantastic old hedgerows, predominantly hawthorn, but there's all sorts in them. There's Salix caprea, there's also a bit of willow knocking about, blackthorn, some privet, oak, ash, a good variety. Consequently, there's good numbers of birds here, especially the winter thrushes, such as redwings and fieldfares, plenty of blackbirds, and there's even some bullfinches knocking around. I'm so pleased to see that this has not been touched and that it's been opened up to create one big field. Not all farming and farmers are bad. There's many good ones out there that at least strive to be good. Well, it seems that I'm not the first one down here today. These look like muntjac prints to me, judging by how far apart they are. They're only about 16 inches apart, and they're small. Obviously, maybe sometime in the night, muntjac was strolling up here in the direction I'm going. And this is the direction that I'm going. It's, as you can see, that the bridle way has opened up now, and you've still got this good hedge on the right hand side, and a meadow or grass field that's never been particularly good. It's obviously been sprayed over the years on this side of Eakring Meadows. It's not managed by the Notts Wildlife Trust this side, so consequently all the wild flowers associated with meadowland such as Eakring Meadows are all gone and been wiped out on this side. It would be nice if they could be reinstated. Anyway, that's the way I'm going, and then down towards the end of this hedge and then cut up to the right. And that's Hare Hill Wood. This is the southernmost boundaries of Hare Hill Wood. It's not a massive wood, and it sits in a similar position to Lound Wood really. It's on a south facing slope for its most part. But the interesting thing is that you've got Lound Wood, which you may well just be able to make out at the back of the hedge to the left of Hare Hill Wood, which as the crow flies is probably no more than a mile away. And Lound Wood is carpeted with bluebells. This has got about 3 plants. It's amazing the difference between the two woods in ground flora. They're both on the same soils. Well, right on the edge of the wood now, of Hare Hill Wood, and that's looking over towards Eakring. Lots of turbines on the horizon there, and it's nice that there's a long-standing set-aside strip that's remained since I was birdwatching here up till 2012. It's been in place probably for nearly 20 years, this set-aside strip, so provides fantastic habitat, some great woodland edge habitat. We've got some long-tailed tits. You may well get a glimpse of it if it comes back round, but there's a male brimstone fluttering around the ivy. It's at the back there, look. Here it is. Look at that. 16th of December. Now just flown at the side of me. And there it goes. I wonder how often brimstones do this. Obviously, it thinks it's spring. But had mild weather before in winter, but I've never seen brimstone out. You don't have to look too far for odd invertebrates, especially on a day like this. And half of you might not believe me when I tell you that it's warm, but you've seen the evidence. I quite expect a bumblebee to be knocking around. But while I'm waiting for a bumblebee, there's a few of these here, which is 7-spot ladybird. Typically, as they often do in winter, it's tucked up in the heads of a dead creeping thistle. And there's 2 more tucked just below my feet here in the crumpled leaves of creeping thistle. And this is a typical overwintering place for 7-spot ladybirds. Just wanted to show you this. By the looks of it, this is an English elm sucker or some regrowth, but look at the golden colour on that, and you contrast that to the brown leaves of the oak that's behind it. It's just beautiful. Everything seems to be yellow here, apart from the sky, of course. Beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely glorious. Just a few leaves with an element of green in it. And this is the view from Hare Hill Wood, looking sort of southeast over towards the Newark direction, Newark not being far away. And the village of Kersall is in those trees just on the near side hill there. Not much more than half a dozen houses, to be honest, Kersall, and a couple of old farms. Glorious clear blue skies, absolutely beautiful. Whenever you get a nice mild day in any time over the winter, there are always invertebrates that will come out of the surrounding vegetation and take the opportunity to have a bit of a warm up and get some sun on their backs. This juvenile nursery web spider is no exception. And because it's got the warmth from this wooden post, it's finding life quite enjoyable. don't know whether it's because it's such a nice day, or whether it's just because of where I am. There's a lot of birds. And there is. It's all contact calls, of course, at this time of year. And there's yellowhammer, redwing, fieldfare, blackbird, song thrush. Siskin I can hear now. It's surprising how much you can sometimes hear on a winter's day. Siskin getting nearer, listen, there. I doubt, to be honest, that you'd get a better December day than this. And yet, we're only about 9 days from Christmas. And if you want to know what I'm doing at Christmas, it's this. Getting out and about. They say it might get a bit colder. But today's just another example of how cold winter isn't anymore. More an example of how overheated your houses are. You could quite happily walk around in a t-shirt today and not be cold. And that's being serious. People think, oh, yeah, you're just being silly, but I'm not. I'm not saying that winter is mild all the time, because it isn't. You get periods of cold, but that's all you get now with winters. Winters are just sort of periods of cold, you know, a week of cold. When you see a Brimstone butterfly on a day like today, just a few days before Christmas, it's only a few more months before they'll be on the wing properly. We're even less number of days nearer the shortest day than we are Christmas Day, which means that the evenings start to draw out. Slowly at first, admittedly, but they draw out nonetheless. And that's a big positive that people want to take into account and get in their heads. And if we get a few more days like this before now and March, all the better. Right, I'm off. And here's the route back up to Kersall. Unfortunately, it's uphill, but it almost looks like one of those sort of hollow ways, some ancient route that's been taken for centuries. But not a deal comes down it now, the odd 4x4 by the looks of it, just to fill up pheasant feeders. I dare say at one time this was the realm of the horse and cart. Well, that's the hill sorted, well, at least the upward bit of the hill. Now, for someone like me, this is plain sailing. I wonder if I could do one big forward roll. I might save that for another day. Strange little village this steep. Can't even call it a main street. There's ever been a shop here. But whenever I walk up or down this, or when I used to, I always used to feel as though I should be carrying a loaf of Ovis with me. That's what it reminds me of. Which reminds me, I could do with a sandwich. Feeling rather peckish. But it's been a glorious day. It's been a glorious walk. Highlight, something incredibly common. Brimstone butterfly. Incredibly common, but in the middle of December, completely out of context.